All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to show you how to find the surface area of cones. But before we do that, it's very important to know the different parts of your cone. So looking at our cone, we have our radius. Remember, your radius goes from the center of the circle to an outer edge of the circle. We have what's called the height. That's going from the tip of the cone down to the center of the circle. So that is your height. And then we have this special L here, which is actually standing for your slant height. Your slant height goes from the top of the cone and then it travels along the side of the cone. So that is your slant height. Now your slant height is going to be very important when it comes to finding the surface area of our cone. So all we're going to do is we're just going to take the surface area formula and we're going to plug in the information that we have in our example. So over here, I'm going to write surface area equals. Now the first part of our formula says pi times radius squared. So I'm going to leave that as pi times, now our radius in this particular cone is 5 centimeters, and I do need to square that. The second part of our formula is plus pi times the radius again, which is 5, times the L, or our slant height. Now, if we look here, we don't want to use the 12. That is our regular height. We want to use the slant height, and it even says L equals 14 centimeters. So we're going to multiply that times 14. Now, you might be wondering, well, where on earth is this coming from? Well, if you think pi r squared, that's the formula for the area of a circle. So that's taking care of the circle part of the cone. If we were to lay out the cone flat, then we would end up with kind of like a rectangle, and that's what this pi times radius slant height is standing for. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of this into Desmos. So I'm going to take my pi, which is 3.14, and I'm going to multiply that times 5 squared, hit my squared key, plus pi, which is 3.14, times 5, which is my radius, times the slant height, which is 14. And when I do that, my surface area, is equal to 298.3. And because this is area, our units would be centimeters squared. So basically, how many squares would it take to cover the outside surface of your cone? So that's all you really have to do. If you really wanted to in Desmos, you could assign each, like your radius equals 5, and then you can do your lateral height equals 14 and then just type in the formula. You could do that, but I particularly like to plug in the numbers to find our answer. So that is how you find the surface area of cones.